listening to Heroes Initiative.
Welcome back, viewers. Thanks so much for tuning into our last part with Christine, where we talked about a little bit her trip to Uganda, and now we're going to continue on with this segment, so stay tuned for more. So going back to where you were helping out at the refugee camps, how would you describe what it was like to be selling those soaps that that you guys made in the marketplace, or to be able to like see how these refugees' lives like are in action? What did that mean to you?
So we didn't sell the soaps. We just helped make them, and I don't think they're being sold in the refugee camps. They're being made in the refugee camps, but then they're taken out of the refugee camps by like missionaries to like sell them on the streets elsewhere. I don't know exactly where. And then the money from that goes back into the refugees.
Gotcha. So there are the full-time missionaries there who like that is their job, basically, is they go out and they take what you guys have made in the camps, and then they sell them. Where do they sell them?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I do not know. I assume like around Uganda, but I know I couldn't tell you exactly like the website, but they do sell, I think, some online from the Rhino. The camp was called the Rhino Camp Settlement. So
awesome. Wow, that's really interesting. I did not know that. So thank you for telling me about that. So looking at how you were able to like pour into the teachers, pour into the ladies at the girls' homes and everything, you talked about a little bit your experience with ministering to those people. But what is something else that you were able to learn from them while you were there?
Yeah, that's a great question, because that's also something that is really cool, is, learning to like just humble yourself while you're there, and understanding that there's so much, that they can teach you and that they can show you. So for example, just like, again, like I said, I would go into the kitchen and help them cook. They are so much better at like cooking and like cutting food than I am. Like they know how to like do it quick and efficient. And I don't know, it was just so cool. Like they would take a pot off of the hot fire without using like oven mitts, which might be a little thing, but it just blew my mind, because I don't know how they did it. Like I have like weak fingers, but I could not even come close. So they taught us like cool, like small things like, cooking and stuff. And then also, like I said before, when we were at the school in the refugee camps helping cleaning up, they taught us some of the language. And I'm trying to remember exactly the name of the language. I remember some of the words of it, but that was also really cool. And then in terms of like, I guess, more significant things and deeper things, they taught us a lot about hospitality, which I thought was super cool. And that's definitely something that I took back with me a bit, was just learning how to welcome people into your home. And I don't know, they're such a friendly and welcoming people. They would honestly like give us all that they had if it came to it. And it's like, trust me, like we don't need this, but they're like, no, take it. And it's like, and it's like you feel bad, but also like if you reject it, it's rude, so you accept it. But like they're just such loving people. So that's just something that I really learned from them, is how to be more hospitable.
Trying to paint a fuller picture of what your trip looked like, what was it to be with your fellow missionaries at nighttime? What were some of the activities that you would do there, and what were some of the things that you enjoyed most about that?
You ever heard of star tipping?
I don't think so.
So we would like, this sounds really sketch. I don't even know if I should talk about this, but I'm going to, because I don't know. So we would like go out into the middle of like a field late at night. And then, something about like where we were was that I will not forget ever, was just the stars. And maybe it's because we live in Atlanta, but like you never see the stars here. But where we were staying, the stars were absolutely amazing, stunning. It took my breath away. But basically, we would go out to the field in the middle of the night, kind of sketch, but it's okay. And then we would like, basically you would like look up and stare at a star, and then someone would spin you around like 20 times, and then you would like, and then after that you would like shine a flashlight into their eyes, and it would make them like, then they would like try to like grab the light, but then they would like fall over, and it's kind of hilarious. And honestly, it might be a form of hazing, but it was really funny, and I enjoyed it. And it's also like fun to be the one that's like spinning, because it's like a weird like feeling, but then it's also really funny to like see people fall down. And then we would also just like play games. There was some fun games we would play. I'm trying to remember exactly what we played. We played the couch game. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but we would play card games. One of the missionaries had a Lord of the Rings Monopoly. So one night we stayed up until like 3 a.m. playing Lord of the Rings Monopoly, and it was awesome. So yeah, late at night, it was also a great time to like just relax and like, further strengthen our relationships, because during the day it was like exhausting and we would do a lot of ministry during then, but at night was really the time that we had for each other, and just again building relationships, getting to know each other better, playing games, having fun, relaxing if we need it. And then also at night was usually when we did our Bible studies, so which was also really important, so to make sure that we did have like that spiritual discipline, not only just like an outward spiritual discipline, but also growing closer with Christ through daily devotions by ourselves, but also as a group. So funny thing, actually, we went through Acts, Esther, and Ruth.
No way.
Yeah, so I'm familiar. So yeah, we went through those 3 chapters throughout it, and then we also went through a little bit of Ecclesiastes. So it was really awesome. Again, and we all would like take turns leading it, which was super cool. So I really enjoyed that aspect of our group.
For our listeners, for context, those are exactly the books that we're reading here in the BCM. We're reading Acts right now in Velocity, which is our large group, and in our small groups this semester we've been reading Ruth first and then Esther. So that's awesome. I also wanted to ask, how have you seen your prayer life increase and improve from this trip? What was it like to just be in that place and like still have to maintain a healthy prayer life?
Yeah, so it definitely like showed the importance of prayer, I would say, because when you're there ministering to people, it's really important to like pray for them, because it kind of, if you pray for them, it kind of has that idea of, you're not in control whatsoever. Like, it's all in God's hands. So praying for these people, just like asking, like, you can share the gospel with people and you can be obedient, but ultimately it's like up to God, to change their hearts. So it was just super cool to be able to be there and pray. And then even after coming back, making sure to continually like pray for them. I think just right now, like for listeners, some prayer requests would of course be like for the long-term missionaries there. They could definitely use some prayer just with their ministry. They're still working at the Rhino refugee camps. And then also there's just a lot of like, I guess, fear we've noticed there just surrounding COVID. So just prayer for that as well. And then finally, there's also just, I don't know, it is very humbling to see this, but there was a lot of, I guess, physical needs as well as spiritual needs there. So definitely prayer for both of those aspects.
Awesome. I was just reading, I can't remember where it was in the Bible. Sometimes my mind just escapes me, but it's talking about meeting spiritual needs and physical needs, and how it's not just saying, oh, be well, be warm, and then not doing anything about it. As believers and as stewards of our faith, as long as we have things, we ought to give it up to people and allow people to just see that yes, we want to take their needs up to the Lord, but if we can diagnose them right now, then why don't we, So that's really cool, and that's encouraging to hear that that's, what you guys prayed for and what you're currently still praying for. Do you have any other, I guess, thoughts and prayers for yourself learning from the trip, or from your fellow missionaries who you went with, the 5 other people who you went on the trip with?
Yeah, definitely. So I would definitely emphasize just praying for the team, and the idea that, it's really easy to, and I'm speaking, personally for myself, I know, also it's really easy to get on Jesus highs when you go on like mission trips or camps. So just prayer that even though we, it might seem like we're getting back into the routine of like everyday life, that we still just have that fire for Christ, that we just remember, we still have the same command from God in Uganda as we do here in Atlanta or wherever else we may be, and that we remember to just live a life on mission for Christ, and that we maintain just daily devotion with Him.
Awesome. Just reminding me of the Great Commission in Matthew 28, where Jesus says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." And, that's not just nations abroad, but that's nations here where we're at right now. And that's just not just where we're at right now, but also in places that are far away from us. So it goes both ways. And yeah, it's just important to remember that, which is why I'm so excited for the summer, just to see who all is going to be on mission wherever they are. I'm just so elated to be able to get to see who is going to be ready to go on Semi Now, and who is going to be in different countries regardless of whether they're going on a Semi Now trip or not. So do you have any final thoughts?
No, I think the only thing I want to just really encourage is, if you're given the opportunity to, do Send Me Now, like definitely for sure take it. It's been such a rewarding experience in my life, and in the lives of others as well. So I would, highly recommend it. And if anyone interested in doing Send Me Now wants to talk, I'm always open to chat.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into our Heroes Initiative podcast. Thank you, Christine, for being so willing to come on here and share everything that you've been able to garner and learn. And I pray that you just continue that spirit, just with fervor and zeal, that God is guiding you in everything. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Heroes Initiative.